Stars of 1,000-Pound Sisters. After some difficult years, Amy Slaton and Tammy Slaton might not want to continue being part of the show, and I believe that if they decide to quit, the series will finish. Tammy, who has been one of the primary stars of the show since the beginning, has had a difficult few years. Her sister Amy, who has also been a significant part of the 1,000-Pound Sisters puzzle, has been going through a trying time as well. The series started out as a look at the two sisters as they went about their lives, but it has since evolved into a show that focuses on their entire family. During the course of the show, Amy and Tammy have been joined by their family members, including their older sisters Amanda Halterman and Misty Slaton, as well as their older brother Chris Combs. Amanda, Misty, and Chris all have weight-related difficulties, but the main focus of the show has been Amy's journey to adjust to her new normal following weight reduction surgery and Tammy's journey to improve her health after weight loss surgery. Even if the sisters are still part of the series, I think that if they were to leave, the show would come to an end. Amy and Tammy have had a tough season. Tammy, Amy, and the rest of the family have had their share of troubles during the show's run, but Season 6 of 1,000-Pound Sisters was especially challenging for them. Tammy eventually reached a point where she was healthy enough to have weight loss surgery after the turmoil of Season 5 of 1,000-Pound Sisters. Tammy was able to undergo her bariatric surgery and begin her recovery after 4 full seasons of coping with challenges related to her physical and emotional health. However, this came after she had experienced one of the most frightening health circumstances she had ever been in. Tammy's luck has finally improved, although it is happening gradually. Sadly, things took a turn for the worse when Tammy's spouse died at the Ohio-based rehabilitation facility where they met. This happened after her wedding to Caleb Willingham and her surgery. Tammy was coping with one kind of loss, while Amy was coping with another kind. Amy was frank about the fact that she was battling with her mental health after having her second baby in only a few short years. However, her husband, Michael Halterman, was not being helpful with anything in their family. Amy was unable to find any sense of calm while she navigated the challenging aspects of her marriage, which only made things more difficult for her. Tammy might be fine with taking on a smaller role. Tammy's time on 1,000-Pound Sisters hasn't been bad, but she doesn't always have the best feelings about sharing her life on film. Tammy has been open about her health and weight for the past 3 years, which has made her a target for internet criticism and vitriol. Tammy has been open and honest, but she has found herself in many circumstances when people are unkind to her because of how she has chosen to tell her tale. Tammy may appear to be tough, but in reality she is quite sensitive, which has caused problems. Tammy has been glad to share her life on film, but the criticism and shade she receives online have not been good for her, especially now that she is striving to maintain her weight reduction. Tammy has been trying to strike a balance between her mental and physical health for years on 1,000-Pound Sisters, and it hasn't been easy for her. After Tammy's operation, I believe the criticism from the show's fans has been even more intense. This has been tough for her to deal with, especially because she did something that she felt would bring people some feeling of peace about her. Before Amy comes back, her problems need to be addressed. Amy's experience on the most recent season of 1,000-Pound Sisters was a bizarre and overwhelming look into her life. Although there were times when she acted as a peacemaker between her siblings, Amy was not doing a great job of dealing with her own difficulties while assisting others. Amy made it plain that she was more focused on other aspects of her life during Season 6 of 1,000-Pound Sisters, even though she knew that taking care of her mental health was important for her to become a better version of herself. Amy is now experiencing serious mental health issues and needs to focus on her own well-being before coming back. Amy would be able to resolve any remaining problems she has with the people around her in Season 7 of 1,000-Pound Sisters, but I believe that aside from the pre-filmed next season of the series, Amy should take a sabbatical from the show for the purpose of her mental health. Amy has been able to manage things in the past, but it is obvious that she has been struggling more than ever to do so while acting as a single mother. Amy has to take a break to show everyone that she is prioritizing herself after her public outbursts and run-ins with the law. The sisters will not show up unless they are together. In the past, Amy and Tammy have been able to film 1,000-pound sisters without each other. For example, Tammy spent almost a year out of state at a treatment facility before and after her weight loss surgery. However, it is obvious that the show is more successful when they are both present. When Amy and Tammy are not on the show together, one of them has to take on more responsibility to create drama, which is not beneficial for either of them. Things are not simple for the one who has the starring part, even when the rest of their siblings are involved. Amy and Tammy's time on 1,000-pound sisters is more enjoyable when they are working together as a team. I believe that if one of them decides to leave the show, the other will follow suit. Although it is one thing to appear alone, I believe that if one of the family members decided that they no longer wanted to film the show, the rest of the family would reconsider. Tammy and Amy are really close, so I assume they would talk to each other before they left the program and decide to terminate it. Without both Amy and Tammy, 1,000-pound sisters wouldn't seem right. The reality television show 1,000-pound sisters has quickly captured the hearts of millions with its raw portrayal of the lives of Amy and Tammy Slaton, two sisters who are navigating the struggles of severe obesity while trying to improve their health. The show has been popular not just because of its emotional depth, but also due to the compelling, sometimes controversial personalities of the two main stars. For years, the Slaton sisters have been at the center of this emotional roller coaster, showcasing their challenges, triumphs, and personal growth, as well as the occasional setbacks. Given that 1,000-pound sisters has garnered a dedicated fan base, one might think that the show could continue with just one of the Slaton sisters. However, I'm convinced that the show wouldn't have the same appeal and may not even continue if either Amy or Tammy were to leave voluntarily. Here's why the presence of both sisters is vital to the continuation of the show and the overall success of the series. The dynamic between Amy and Tammy. The show thrives on the complex relationship between Amy and Tammy. The two sisters couldn't be more different in terms of their personalities, goals, and struggles, but it is precisely these differences that make their dynamic so captivating. Amy has been portrayed as more optimistic, determined, and pragmatic about her weight loss journey, while Tammy's journey has been marked by resistance to change and emotional turmoil. Their contrasting personalities provide a natural source of tension and drama that drives the narrative forward. Audiences are invested not only in their weight loss journeys but also in how they interact with each other. The emotional highs and lows, from Amy encouraging Tammy to lose weight to Tammy's frustration with her own progress, create a narrative tension that keeps viewers coming back for more. If one of the Slaton sisters were to leave, this dynamic would be lost. Without the other sister there to create conflict or emotional depth, the show would risk becoming less relatable and less interesting. Simply put, Amy and Tammy need each other to create the magic that viewers love. The emotional investment of fans. Fans of 1,000-pound sisters are emotionally invested in the Slaton sisters. Viewers have followed Amy's journey to motherhood, witnessed Tammy's health struggles, and empathized with both women's determination to change their lives. These sisters have become not just reality TV stars but figures that people genuinely care about. Their challenges feel personal to the viewers, and many feel like they are rooting for them to succeed. If either sister were to leave, viewers might feel that the story is incomplete. The Slaton sisters' journeys are intricately intertwined, and it's difficult to imagine one of them going on without the other. Fans have been invested in their relationship as much as their individual health goals. This level of emotional attachment makes the idea of the show continuing without one of the Slaton sisters somewhat unappealing. Furthermore, the Slaton family is incredibly close-knit, and their emotional struggles often play out not just on screen but also behind the scenes. If either sister decided to leave the show, it would alter the very fabric of the show's emotional appeal. Fans would no longer feel like they are on this journey with both sisters, and the emotional investment in the series might wane. Their personal struggles are symbiotic. A major theme of 1,000-Pound Sisters is the deeply personal nature of the sisters' health struggles. Each woman's journey to lose weight, improve their health, and change their lifestyle has been challenging in its own way. But what's interesting is how their struggles are often symbiotic. Amy and Tammy help each other in ways that viewers might not expect. Amy, despite her own weight loss challenges, has been a source of support for Tammy, pushing her to seek help and encouraging her to make healthier decisions. Meanwhile, Tammy has been a sounding board for Amy as she navigates her own issues, including motherhood and weight management. This mutual support system has been key to the success of the show. It's not just about each woman's struggle in isolation, but how their paths intersect, how they hold each other accountable, and how they offer emotional support in times of crisis. If one sister were to leave, it would mean a significant loss of this interdependency. Without Tammy, Amy would lose a source of emotional conflict, which is integral to the show's drama. And without Amy, Tammy would lose a much-needed motivation to keep fighting. Both women need each other to continue their personal transformations, and viewers need to see both journeys play out on screen. The show is built around both sisters' personalities. While 1,000-Pound Sisters focuses on the weight loss journeys of Amy and Tammy, it's also very much about the personalities of the two women. Amy is the more optimistic and go-getter of the two, while Tammy is the more cynical and sometimes sarcastic sister. Their personalities are not only central to the plot but also provide a large part of the show's charm. Amy is often portrayed as the more likable of the two sisters. Her ability to balance humor and hardship makes her relatable to viewers, and her journey to lose weight while becoming a mother has been a story many viewers can connect to. Tammy, on the other hand, is portrayed as the more complex character. Her weight loss struggles are intertwined with her emotional battles, and her defiance of advice from others makes her a fascinating subject to watch. The combination of these two personalities gives the show its unique appeal. If one of the sisters were to leave, the show would lose this dynamic. The interplay between Amy's optimism and Tammy's realism is what makes the show entertaining. Without both of them, the show would risk becoming one-dimensional, focusing on just one character's journey. The absence of one sister would likely leave a void that could not be easily filled by other cast members, no matter how engaging they may be. The business side of things. Financial and viewership impact. From a business perspective, the show's producers and network executives have likely taken into account the incredible popularity of both Amy and Tammy. The Slaton sisters are the faces of the series, and their storylines are crucial to the show's commercial success. Their combined presence has led to consistently high ratings, and the show's success is undoubtedly linked to their on-screen chemistry. If either Amy or Tammy were to leave, it could have significant financial consequences. Without both sisters, the show might lose its appeal to viewers who are invested in their relationship and their individual journeys. The loss of viewership could lead to a drop in advertising revenue and a decline in the show's overall profitability. Networks often rely on strong, consistent viewership, and the departure of a major cast member would disrupt this dynamic. In the long run, the show could face difficulties in finding a replacement for one of the sisters. While the show could theoretically introduce new characters, it would be a difficult task to find someone who could replicate the chemistry between Amy and Tammy. Furthermore, the show's narrative would likely have to be restructured, which could alienate longtime fans. The Slaton sisters' family and personal lives. A significant part of 1,000-Pound Sisters is the way the sisters' families are involved in their journeys. Amy, for example, has a husband, Michael, and a young son, Gage, who are part of the family dynamics showcased on the show. Tammy's relationship with her family, particularly with her siblings and mother, also plays an important role in the narrative. These family dynamics offer a rich layer of storytelling that extends beyond the weight loss theme. The departure of one sister could affect these relationships on screen. If Tammy left the show, Amy's story might lose some of its emotional complexity, especially as she navigates her life with a young child. If Amy were to leave, Tammy would lose not only her source of emotional support, but also a key figure in her family's involvement in the show. Their relationship with their mother in particular has often been a point of tension and interest, and the absence of one sister could change the family dynamic significantly. The power of transformation, impact on the narrative arc. The Slaton sisters' stories are about transformation, both physical and emotional. Each episode shows their progress, or lack thereof, and their ongoing attempts to change their lives for the better. The storylines focus on their personal growth, their attempts to lose weight, and the support they receive from each other and their family. If either Amy or Tammy were to leave, the narrative arc of the show would change drastically. The weight loss journey would become less of a shared experience, and the transformation of one person would not be as compelling without the presence of the other. The emotional payoff of seeing both sisters succeed or fail would be diminished. Moreover, Tammy's storyline has often been one of setbacks and slow progress, which is part of the show's emotional tension. Without her presence, the show could lose much of its underdog element, which has been a driving force for fans who have rooted for Tammy's success despite the many obstacles she faces. The future of the show. What happens if one sister leaves? If one of the Slaton sisters were to leave the show, it's likely that the series would struggle to maintain the same level of interest from fans. It's hard to imagine the show being as successful without the emotional complexity of both sisters. The series may try to carry on, but without both of them, it would likely lose its essence. Fans have grown attached to the idea of the two sisters navigating life together, and their combined story is what has made 1,000-Pound Sisters a cultural phenomenon. If one sister were to leave, the producers would likely have to make significant changes to the format or structure of the show. They could try to introduce new cast members or shift the focus to other family members, but it's uncertain whether any of these changes could recapture the magic that both Amy and Tammy bring to the screen. Ultimately, the success of 1,000-Pound Sisters is deeply tied to the presence of both Amy and Tammy Slaton. Their relationship, personalities, and individual journeys are what make the show so compelling. Without both sisters, the show would lose much of its heart, and its appeal would likely fade. In my opinion, 1,000-Pound Sisters cannot continue in the same way if one of the Slaton sisters were to leave, and it would be difficult for the show to maintain its success without both of them. The show has become synonymous with the Slaton sisters, and their journey together is what keeps viewers coming back for more.